Hello everyone, it's SpawnPoiint and we have got to talk more about PlayStation's physical disc situation because this is more than just digital versus physical at this stage, or the no disc, no buy comments. It's more about what this means for the future of PlayStation and gaming in general, and how it could really affect us all. So these are my thoughts now that I've had a few weeks to sort of think it all over and where we go from here. But yeah, if you do like gaming, whether that's buying digital or physical, please drop a like and subscribe if you're new here. So I won't bore you with the post that PlayStation made a few weeks ago because we've all seen it by now. But in summary, PlayStation will stop producing and selling discs from January 2028. And this means all games up until then you will be able to buy and own physically, but from that date forward you will only be able to buy a digital game. Look, now I know a lot of us buy our games digitally, whether that's exclusively for the convenience, when there's a sale on, or just because some games are only available digitally. Being able to download and preload while I'm sitting on the sofa is a huge bonus for some, and I own quite a lot of digital games. I'm telling you now, I am not anti-digital at all, and that's the thing, it's not about which is better, it's about the choice. Because right now you can decide whether convenience or ownership matters more, whether you want a digital game for the portal or a disc to store on your shelf. But from 2028, PlayStation will make that decision for us. I mean, PlayStation themselves have said that most, or 80% of new game sales are digital, which is kind of what sparked this whole situation that we're in today. And you know what? The figures don't actually surprise me, but that still means that roughly 20% of gamers do buy their new games on disc. That's not zero. That is a lot of people who still prefer discs. And that is not taking into account the second-hand market or lending your mate a disc, eBay, car boot sales and so on. Sony isn't tracking those second-hand sales where a single new game could be resold and played by 10 different people. Now, when you buy a physical game, I love that you've got something in your hand or sitting on your shelf that belongs to you. You can walk into a store and pick it up, use it, trade it, sell it, store it, or display it. This right here is something that I own, and PlayStation probably won't come and take it away from me. The problem that I have with going all digital though is, do we actually own the games that we're buying? Now Sony and some will argue yes, but the fact is we don't really own it. It's a license that we're borrowing that can be removed, revoked, deleted or lost at any moment. We've seen it done with games and movies recently, which is honestly an absolute joke. There's also a big difference in my opinion when saying I own 100 PS5 games because I can see them on my desk or on my shelf, versus I have access to 100 PS5 games in my digital library. I mean, I still literally have my original N64 and Sega consoles from my childhood, complete with the actual games. Digital just isn't the same. Now, I'll be honest, I just think it's incredibly sad to think that one day all new games will not exist in physical form, and that's going to be on the PlayStation moving forward. Also, think about how much your digital library could be worth after, say, 10 to 20 years. Hundreds of games, thousands of pounds invested, all sitting behind one email address. That account gets hacked, suspended, or you lose it, it's game over. And we've seen this done before, but PlayStation and Microsoft can't or don't always want to help you out. And that actually sounds pretty scary when you think about it. Now, I know that some discs don't contain the full game and you need to actually download it before you play, but the fact is, I still own this game. Whereas every digital game that I buy is tied to my account. And sometimes we can't even launch these games because it cannot verify the license or you have no internet connection, and suddenly we realise we don't actually own anything. Servers go offline, Sony gets hacked, you lose your login, it's game over once again. Now, if you think about the last physical game that you bought, maybe you finished it within a week and sold it, maybe you traded it in towards your next game, you lent it to your mate or your brother, or maybe it's just sitting on your shelf and you'll play it again sometime in the future. But the fact is, you have a choice. Also, a £60 game might be worth $30 when you sell it in a few weeks' time, whereas digital games just don't work in the same way. Once you've bought a digital game, that's it. It's tied to your account unless it's absolutely terrible and you request a full refund within 5 minutes. There's little that you can do with it now. It does make me wonder whether Sony would ever introduce some kind of second-hand trading or selling marketplace. But then there's the price. So when a brand new game launches on the PS5, it's normally full price on the PS Store and could be £60 to £70. Well, then you go ahead and you check Amazon or your local game store and it's usually cheaper. So physical usually ends up being cheaper and you can resell it. Now, I really believe that GTA 6 launching all digital was probably the final nail, because it cannot be a coincidence that they announced digital only and then a few weeks later, PlayStation dropped this news. And look, I'll be honest with you, I bought it digitally, but I've never said that I wouldn't buy games digitally. I'm not anti-digital at all. I'm saying give me the choice. I will play GTA 6 day one because I like gaming. It just pains me that I cannot buy a disc and I won't be able to stick it to my wall or feel like I own it. Now, if and when they do a disc, I will get it on disc as well, as that is my preference. And as mentioned earlier, we've also got second-hand games as well, and this is a huge market for both us gamers and the retailers who sell these games. Like, I buy quite a few of my games from CEX regularly, and any games that I don't want to pick up on day one, this is where I buy them from. And we've all got to agree there is a massive audience who want to sell, trade, and buy from them as well. But that also means that Sony and the devs don't make a penny from these sales once it's originally sold. And I'm going to be a little bit cynical here because I truly believe that is one of the biggest incentives right now to kill the second-hand discs. And don't even get me started on collector's editions, because we've already reached the point where some collector's editions contain everything but a disc. PlayStation have been doing this for years, like with God of War Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2 and Ghost of Yotei, where we have received nothing more than a code in the box when it comes to the game. Now for me, there's something about seeing a physical game or shelves filled with games that honestly hits different. I think if you're a gamer, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like an instant throwback when you see a game like this. But digital libraries or scrolling through a digital library just does not hit the same. We've also seen how games disappear from digital stores altogether, or servers shut down and games no longer work. But what happens in 10, 20 or 30 years if the PlayStation Store no longer exists? We would literally lose every game that we've ever bought, and we'd probably find out with a single post on X giving us a countdown timer. Whereas again, I could walk into a store today and pick up an old PS2 or PS4 game and play that without issue. But it does make me wonder where gaming will go for the younger generation. Now, I've got two children who are 10 and 12, and let me tell you, they love walking into CEX and game stores at the back of Sports Direct as much as I do. Always checking out the latest releases, reading the back of the boxes, buying and trading something in. Even with a full-on digital store at home, they still like going into a store. Now that's probably because of me, but I do wonder what the younger kids will do moving forward. And thinking about it, my children could inherit my physical games collection. But when I'm no longer here, could they legally and easily inherit my digital PS6 games? Now there's one moment in PlayStation's history that I keep coming back to, and some of you will remember this.
This is how you share your games on PS4. Thanks.
Now let's be honest, they understood the audience and they read the room at the time. Sharing, selling, lending and owning really does matter. But to think that in 18 months or so it won't even be possible for new games is insane. Now, I think Sony has a huge opportunity here, because if they truly believe that digital is the future, the only future, then make it better. Give us a better refund system, offer us the ability to lend games to friends, gift games, maybe even sell games on a digital store. I don't know, maybe even trade games in to buy another. Now, of course, this is not ideal and it does not combat the no physical situation, but they've done nothing extra or nothing new here. Also, make security and account recovery absolutely bulletproof. I don't want to worry in 2028 if the hundreds or thousands that I spend on digital games could be wiped out by a single issue. I also think it's worth mentioning that this isn't just a PlayStation conversation. Xbox, PC, Nintendo, the whole gaming landscape has been heading in this direction for years. PlayStation just made it official, but at least it's got us all talking. But I suppose the question is, what happens next? Well, 2028 might sound really far away, but it really isn't. The fact PlayStation have ghosted us for the last 3 weeks already, I would say is pretty clear they have no intention of reversing this decision. Now, of course, they might surprise us, but honestly, guys, I don't think they're going to. I think the PS6 will end up being digital only with maybe a disc drive add-on for the PS4 and PS5 discs, like they kind of tested with the PS5 Pro. And unless there's going to be a big enough movement of not buying digital games for the next 18 months, I really don't think anything's going to change. Now, I know a question you're going to ask me, will I stop buying games altogether after 2028? Probably not, because I like playing games. I already split my library between digital and physical already. I review games here on the channel and I play everything and anything. But again, it will pain me to be forced into digital only. And that, my friends, is how they're going to get us all. In the highly unlikely event that PlayStation watch this video, please do not kill the physical media. I want to own it, and I know a lot of us want to own physical games moving forward, and it is really going to change the entire future of gaming for everybody. But what do you guys think? Are you pro-disc enough to never buy a new PS5 or PS6 release ever again? Well, I do want to say thank you for watching and listening to my thoughts today. Now drop your thoughts down below or what game you are currently playing in the comments, and I'll give you a thumbs up for staying right till the end. And if you did enjoy today's video, check out this video next. Well, thanks for watching, please like, subscribe and follow me everywhere. Until next time.